Hey guys, it's Dr. Ruth Roberts here. I hope you are having a fabulous day. It is a fantastic, gorgeous day in South Carolina. It's 74 degrees. You can see the gorgeous blue skies behind me. My dogs are out enjoying life and sunning and basking in the sun and having a great time. And it's a full moon today, so hope you're going to enjoy that brightness of that moon tonight. And it's just, after a little freeze, it's warmed up nicely, and this is why I live in South Carolina. Enjoyed the cold snap we had, but happy to have it go too. So just want to remind you to check out the new website, theoriginalcrockpetdiet.com, and let me know what you think about that. We've had a few bugs, as tends to happen with any new website, but I think we've gotten the vast majority of them ironed out, so we're making some progress there. And the other thing, very exciting news, we should launch our new Holistic Total Body Support supplement line the first week of February. So we'll have much more information coming about that, but very excited about it because it includes glandular materials to help support your pet's optimal health. And then the other thing that's awesome is because glandular materials are things like liver and spleen and adrenal gland, pets love it. So I know that's perhaps a bit horrifying for folks that are vegan, but you know, pets are carnivores, and especially cats. They are truly obligate carnivores. Dogs are more omnivores like we are, or we tend to be. But they just do better with at least some animal protein in their diets. I've seen a number of pets that owners are vegan, and I get that. I mean, it's a very ethically difficult minefield about how to eat and what to eat. But animals, dogs in particular, cats definitely not good vegans. Dogs have difficulty, and I tend to see their liver enzymes becoming elevated over time, and they just don't look as healthy as they should be. So very excited about this supplement coming up. As I've mentioned in the past too, even if you are feeding commercial food, you just can't cook, can't make that time commitment with the Crock-Pot diet, I think it's still important to use some sort of a multivitamin, simply because, again, the bag of food, the vitamin content is calculated pre-cooking, and so cooking destroys some of the value of the vitamins, and then storage and shipping and all of those things. So still a great idea to add a multivitamin into your pet's daily routine. So the first question I've got is from Jo, and she's asking about her 3-year-old poodle. And she rescued him from a horrible situation. And he's doing much better and starting to put on weight and looking like a healthier poodle. But every few weeks or so, he'll start turning pale, purplish, and get really weak. And then she's seen him actually have a seizure about once every 3 months or so. He also gets really stressed out by visitors to the house, and so she's gotten to where she just puts him in a safe, quiet place away from all the action, and that keeps him a little happier. And he does love his rescue siblings, his other two companions that he lives with. He's eating the Crock-Pot diet, but she wonders if there's anything else that she can feed him that may help him with that, with the seizures and with the kind of the weird turning purple and getting weak situation. And I think what's important here is to make sure that what your pup's really experiencing, Jo, truly is seizures. Heart disease can mask itself and look like seizures sometimes if the dog is not getting enough oxygen to the heart and to the brain. They can pass out. And so there's a real distinct difference between grand mal seizures, where the puppy is paddling and flailing and it's totally out of it, versus passing out or a syncopal episode from heart disease, where they just sort of go limp and they turn pale / purplish, as you're seeing periodically. So I think that's important for you to check out with your local veterinarian. That can be done usually with an examination, so listening to your pup's heart, and then frankly taking x-rays of the chest, because there are some dogs that they may not have a murmur, but may yet have significant heart disease. So I think that's important to check out. With heart disease, there's several things we can do to support heart function, including using CoQ10, taurine, carnitine, things of that nature. And so there's a supplement made by Veterinary called Cardio Strength that works really well. I've used Cardio Support by Standard Process, and it works fairly well too, although I think I prefer the Cardio Strength by Veterinary a bit more. So that's a great option to add in if indeed this is heart disease. If it turns out to be really and truly seizures, then there's a couple of things you can do. One is you can go to more of a keto-based diet, so meaning that you're converting your puppy from burning carbohydrates as a fuel source to fat as a fuel source. So you can see a lot of dialogue going on these days on the human side about nutritional ketosis. And what that means is that if you're eating primarily fat as your fuel source and very low carbohydrates, your body is converting that fat into ketone bodies, and then that is ultimately what your cells burn as a fuel. So on the human side, in epilepsy, many children will be introduced to this keto diet, and granted, it is difficult to get kids to do it. But for those children that do it successfully, many of these kids were able to either reduce substantially their need for anti-seizure medications or eliminate them, and at the same time take that seizure frequency just way, way, way down to zilch. In some cases, and for children that had really severe episodes of seizures, reduced the number of seizures dramatically. So that's one option. The other thing you may consider too is some of that turning purple and getting weak. Maybe if your puppy just is so stressed out and doesn't know how to deal with that social situation, isolating them is a good idea. But sometimes they read our stress as well. So if we're rushing around getting ready for a party, that kind of stuff, that's where something like Liquid Nutri-Calm can be really helpful. So that product was developed by my friend and colleague Rob Silver, and it's a smoked fish flavored tryptophan and theanine product, and that has been terrifically helpful for anxiety and stress. So that's available on the website. It's done a fantastic job. So Joe, I hope that helps you and helps your poodle get a little bit happier with where things are in life. But if you've not been to your local vet, to make sure that the distinction between heart disease and seizures has been made clear, then it's definitely time to do that and make sure we're not going after the wrong thing. I've had a number of questions this week about kidney failure, and this is really, it's a difficult and thorny issue. So, for instance, you take your dog to the vet. Dog looks perfectly fine. The veterinarian runs some annual lab work just to kind of see where things are as far as internal organ function. And your dog's relatively young, say 6, and you're expecting normal values. But your veterinarian comes back and says, well, gosh, Fido's creatinine is 2.6. And so that puts your dog into stage 2 iris kidney failure. Well, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? I mean, so all of a sudden you're being told that your dog that appears to be very healthy to you is in kidney failure and it's going to die. And unfortunately, that's kind of the paradigm that we go through in conventional medicine. So here's a couple of things you can use to think your way through this. One is that dogs are eating dry food for the most part. So if you feed a home-cooked diet, like the original Crock-Pot diet, and add a ton of moisture back into the food, then you're going to help reduce the load on the kidneys and actually drop that creatinine value simply by adding moisture back in. The other thing that we've found tremendously helpful is quercetin, which we've got on the website, and the dosing for it is there as well. And quercetin is cool because it helps to prevent the deposition of advanced glycosylation end products, or AGE, into the kidney membrane. So we've actually seen those creatinine values return to normal, and all the function tests, including SDMA testing, return to normal as well. So if you haven't checked that out, I would. The other opportunity I have for you as well is we have a kidney health program available. And what that does is go through all the conventional information about treating kidney disease in dogs and cats, and then I include alternative therapies that you can use to help improve your pet's quality of life, help improve the function of the kidneys, and really prevent that disease from deteriorating. So the interesting thing is, for instance, in dogs we don't have great information. When dogs get into stage 3 iris disease or stage 4 iris disease, the statistics are pretty awful. At that point, the average lifespan is about 285 days. But if you go to the website, you can read about my dog Ollie and find out that he went from being in stage 3 disease back down to actual normal values over the course of a couple of years, which was awesome. Kitties, we've got a little bit more statistics about. If a cat's in stage 3 iris disease, I think the survival time is something around 600 days. Stage 2 disease is something like 1,200 days. So that's, years and years. So take those numbers with a grain of salt. Do things that you can help to support the kidney function. And, and really home-cooked food, while it's difficult to carry off initially, it is the best way to go for your pet. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not seeing any other questions pop up here, so I'm going to kind of wrap things up and go about the rest of my day. If there are questions that you wanted to ask that I just didn't see or that popped into your mind afterwards, post them under in the comments section under this video once it's up on Facebook, and I'll get back to it and answer them for you. So we'll be doing this Ask Dr. Ruth live once a week, every Thursday at 12:30. So that'll be a regular feature, so you'll know when to tune in. I'll put a notice up on Facebook that we're getting ready to do it. If you've got questions but you can't make that time, just write the questions down there and we'll get them answered for you. So hope that makes sense for you. Guys, have a wonderful day. Go home and give your pups and kitties a hug when you get home. Take good care. Thanks very much. I'm Dr. Ruth. Bye-bye.